I can already, well, I just pulled that out. That is not good. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, well, I guess tonight, because it is currently dark out, it's probably, I think, what, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock? Almost 6 o'clock at night. We are going to start taking apart this engine for the Forester. So if you haven't seen the videos, or you're new to the channel, or whatever, we have a 2011 Subaru Forester. Has 126,000 miles, and I bought it for $300. It didn't run though. You start it, the engine's free, you can move it, but when you try to start it, it just sounds like there's either no compression or something. It sounds weird, but it does crank and it does spin. So we took the engine out. Go check that video out if you haven't seen it yet. And now, today, we are going to start tearing it apart and seeing what went wrong with this engine. It shouldn't take too long. I've done a couple of these, and they're pretty easy engines to take apart. But it all depends on if I have the right tools and stuff, which I think I grabbed everything, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. So here's the engine. It is the FB25 out of that 2011 Forester. If you can see, it was definitely leaking oil out of this timing cover pretty good. And yeah, there's oil all up in here, all that fun stuff. But we are going to tear it apart, and we are going to see what exactly is going on with it. And yeah, let's do that. Okay, so we're draining the oil out of it right now. I did put a little bit of oil in there because when I wanted to crank it, I saw there was no oil in it, so I didn't want to crank it with no oil to make even more damage, because if we can salvage these heads and all that stuff, that would be ideal. But again, we don't know until we take it apart. So it is currently draining. It's trickling out now, so I'm going to start taking stuff off. These engines are pretty damn easy to take apart, but we're going to start with the crank pulley. We'll start with these three things right here. So this is a 22, 14, and then these look like 10s. So we'll take all those off, and we will continue on from there. Okay, so I decided right now I'm going to leave this on because I only have 150 psi air compressor, and this guy is on there, which it should be, but it's on there pretty good. So I'm going to take the injectors off, the intake manifold, and we'll see if we can come back and get this off. I don't know if we will or not. If not, I'll have to just come back later and take this off, and we can 100% disassemble this. But for now, I'll do the intake manifold, injectors, and maybe the valve covers and stuff, and see what it looks like. So let's start on that. These hoses are so old and brittle. Look at this. Broke right off of both sides. It's like it barely bends. So I'm gonna have to get a couple new hoses for this thing as well. Great. Okay, intake manifold is off, and I'll kind of go over what we did to take it off. It's not super hard. There's 3 bolts on both sides of the intake manifold. There is one here, one in the middle here, and then another one here, and it's the same on the other side. And you take all of those out, and then it's basically taking everything that's connected to it off. So this hose was connected to it, this one that broke was connected to it, this connector, this was connected to the throttle body. What else was there? The injectors, you want to take the plugs off, which are these guys right here. This is a simple design. There's just 2 clips on the back. You push them both in and this will pop out. And then your EGR, you want to take these 2 10 mils out, and then these 2 hoses that also broke, and then you pop it off, and then you have an intake manifold just sitting here. So now I'm going to get a light and I'm going to look inside of each cylinder and see what the valves look like. I'm wondering if any of them are broken or something. So I don't know if they will be, but we're going to look and I will show you if I see anything. All right, as of right now, I don't see anything in the cylinders that's concerning. All the valves look fine, but I also can't see the top side of them. So we're gonna have to obviously take the heads off and kind of look and see what they look like. For now, I'm gonna take these valve covers off on both sides, and we're gonna see what everything looks like. I'm hoping it doesn't look too bad, but knowing my luck, they probably will. So let me start taking all of these 10 mils out. I believe there's, let's see, there's like 9 or 10 mils all around, and then we can take this off and go from there. I'm also going to take these injectors off. They're 2 10 mils on top of the block on both sides. Okay, got this off. Let's take this rubber gasket off. Throw this in this bucket. Let me grab a flashlight and we can look inside of it and see what it looks like. Okay. So, I mean, looking at it, doesn't look too bad. God, what happened to this thing? It doesn't even look bad in there. Like, the cam lobes look fine. They're not scored or anything on any of them. All the rockers look good. Everything's looking fine right now. So I don't know what is going on with this thing. Nothing seems like crazy loose. Like, these are going to be tight because the cam lobes are pushing on it. And these are going to be a little looser because the cam lobes aren't pushing on it. But just looking at it, I mean, I don't see any really... is it maybe a little glitter? Okay, yeah, I do see a little glitter in there now that I'm looking. Okay, so we're on the other side. Let's, I already have the injectors off on this side, so let's quickly take this off. Got the pry bar. I mean, this gasket looks way crustier than the other side, but... Alright, I'm gonna put this down. Alright, let's take a look. Get this guy out of here. Put it right in here. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I mean... I don't know if you guys can see that. It's a little glittery. So something's definitely wrong, but right now I can't tell what. Yeah, it's pretty silver in there. Damn, I was hoping for something nothing too crazy, but it's looking like it might. Yeah, I mean, just right here, all that is silver. So, okay, well, we have those done. Now, I want to try and take this timing cover off because we can't get these heads off without getting the timing cover off and then undoing the timing. Yeah, I don't know if how far I'm gonna be able to get with this, due to the fact I can't get this crank pulley off. I can take a couple more of this top stuff off, which I'll probably still do. But for tonight, I don't think I can get this off because I need to grab the tool to hold this so I can break it with the breaker bar. It's Friday night. I don't go back to work till Monday. However, my friend is working or going to the shop tomorrow, so maybe I can have him grab the tool to hold this so I can break it open or break it free, and we can kind of see how that goes. But for now, I'll just try and take this top stuff off, and we'll go from there. Okay, we got that top part out with all the wiring and stuff. Yeah, look at that. It's all black on this gasket because underneath is a gasket. Here, all black because of oil. So it's definitely leaking / seeping some oil. But I think this is really all we can do, because I would flip it over and do like the oil pan and the upper oil pan, but I have an issue right now where my engine stand only has 2 arms right now, so it's holding it up by these 2 on the top. Yes, I know this is not ideal. I do not like it myself. It's really scaring me, and I almost guarantee you I bent these screws. I actually know I did, because here it is straight, it comes here, you can see over here it's a little angled. So I definitely bent these bell housing bolts, but I'll get some new ones. I did order, I don't know where I put them. I did order some new ones, but I don't have the screws to actually put them on yet. I think that's all we can do tonight, because I can't get that crank pulley off because this compressor is not strong enough to take it off. I think maybe tomorrow I can get my buddy to bring me the tool so I can crack it with the breaker bar, and then take the rest off with the impact, which then means we can take all those bolts out, take the timing cover off, check that. I'm hoping maybe like the timing's off. I doubt it. But then detime it, and then we can start taking the heads off down to the bare block and flip it over, do the oil pan, all that stuff, and see what's going on. I see some glitter in there, which tells me something is metal on metal, which is not good. So I don't know. We'll have to see. So I will be back tomorrow, and we will start taking this apart and really looking on the inside of it. Okay, it's probably like a week later. We had an issue with the crank pulley bolt not coming out because my compressor was not strong enough. We also had a problem with my stand because I was missing 2 arms, so it was just being held up by 2. I fixed that. Now we need to do the crank pulley. I think I have a solution. I don't know why I didn't think about this before. If this solution doesn't work, I did bring a tool from work. I'm obviously going to bring it back. But I'm borrowing this tool from work that will fit onto the crank pulley. Let me show you. It will fit onto the crank pulley like this. And there's these little pegs that go in this hole. and then I'll have someone hold it while I try to break that bolt. However, I do think I have a solution, thanks to Sam. Sam, thank you for reminding me of this. And that is to grab a pry bar and put it in by the flywheel, whatever you want to call this, flex plate, that's what it is. Put it in between the flex plate and down here. Obviously you want to make sure you don't really hit the oil pan. And then hopefully that'll hold it to be able to break that. So I'm going to try to break it right now and we will see what happens. Okay, we have our breaker bar with the 22. Let's see if it'll break. Okay, it broke. Yes. Okay. So we did end up getting it to break, which is nice. So now we can take this bolt out. And then hopefully, you know, yep, that'll slide right out. Now it's off. And now that it's off, we can actually start really disassembling this by taking the timing cover off, checking timing, see what that's at, and then taking both heads off. Now what I'm worried, because we did see a little bit of glitter when we took the rocker covers off, I'm worried that it did end up doing metal on metal and I'll end up needing a short block. We're gonna hope for the best and hope that we don't have to, that we can just, I don't know, maybe it's just timing. But I do have to get this water pump pulley off. It's really stuck on there. And then once we do that, then I can start taking the timing cover bolts out and really taking this apart and seeing what the hell happened to this car. So let me try and get this water pump pulley off, and then we'll go from there. Okay, I forgot to record, but I did get this off, and it definitely did not want to come off. So I gave it a little bit of convincing, but it ended up falling off. So we're good there. So now we get to take the timing cover bolts out, which go all around the entire timing cover. Now these are 12 millimeters, and then these ones on the inside are 10. And I believe there's 5 in the middle here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Yep, 5. And then a bunch around here. I don't even know how much in total, but we're gonna take the timing cover off, and then we'll see what the timing looks like, and we'll go from there. All right, like I said, these are all 12 mil besides the 5 inside ones. Let me grab my 10. I have this guy with my 12. We'll try to take these off. I need to get a stronger one of these, so I might have to unfortunately break all of these by hand and then go for it, because that guy is not quite strong enough, which is fine. It just takes a little longer then. With all those loose, I'm going to grab one of these guys so that I can put the screws in here. And you'll notice, again, if you've never done this, for the timing cover, these outside bolts, one of them, there's a couple that are longer and a lot of them that are shorter. The shorter ones typically go in the middle here, while the longer ones will go on the outside here, here, and then there's a couple more on the other side. It's just something you're gonna wanna pay attention to, because when you do put RTV on this, when you're putting it back together, you only have a certain amount of time before it hardens up. So you wanna get this torque down as fast as you can. Now that we have all that taken off, we have to separate this timing cover from the actual block and the heads. And it might seem a a little scary when you do it because you're like yanking, like you're pulling on this thing, but it's how you do it. So you want to take a pry bar and you want to find, there's a couple openings. There is an opening right here where you can fit your thing here. So you want to do that and just slowly pry. You can see it's slowly starting to separate. And then there's another one here that you can do it and just slowly separate it. There's another one here. It's not as good, but you can still use it. You can kind of use it to separate it. Then there's one here. Now you want to be careful because you don't want to break this. And this one's a little bit more difficult, but you can do it this way. But I'm going to use these two that I showed you in the beginning because that seems to be where you get the best grip. And then you can pull it off and put it to the side. So let's try to break this open and hope that only our timing chains are bad. Nothing else. Only good thoughts. Only good thoughts. What you can do is, I don't have a flathead with me, but when you pull this back, you see a little gap, you can put a flathead in there to kind of keep it open. And this might take us a little bit. And also what you can do is with these, take a 14 millimeter wrench, and you can put it on there and you can just twist it. I don't have one with me, unfortunately, but you can do it that way if you want. And it's a really good way to break it open. There's gonna be oil that starts coming out of this bottom. All right, I think we're almost there, guys. Oh yeah, okay. So now, pull this guy off, and now we got the timing cover off. I'll put this guy up here for now. Trying to look inside of this timing cover quick. Oh yeah, guys, I don't think it's just the timing chains. Unfortunately, because if you look in here, in the timing cover, this is definitely some glitter. That's not good. So I think we have more than just the timing chains going bad, which I figured, but you know, a guy can hope. So let me put this back up on the shelf. Okay. Well, it looks like it might have cracked the block right here. So yeah, we probably will need a new short block. Damn, that sucks. Also, I don't know why, but this cam gear over here looks really weird. Almost looks like it's backwards. Interesting, but I mean, none of the it doesn't look, the timing doesn't look bad. I mean, obviously I can't tell timing right now. I gotta turn it a couple times, which I'm not gonna do because I can already, well, I just pulled that out. That is not good. I just pulled that out from right underneath here. Okay, but what I was talking about was the crack right here. Right here. You can kind of see it. Looks like it cracked. Huh. Okay. Well, we're still gonna detime it, and then we're gonna take the heads off and really see what kind of damage it did, and then we'll flip it over and we'll take the oil pan off, the upper oil pan. Actually, no, this one doesn't have one. So the lower oil pan, and see what it looks like down there. But it's already looking like I'll probably need a block. Just looking at that and looking at some of this, it looked like, I mean, you saw I pulled metal out of it. Yeah, and just wiping my hand right here, it's all glittery. So we will most likely need a sharp block. We will basically, it's definite we'll need a sharp block. Now it's just a matter of, can we reuse the heads? That's the biggest thing, because I can take the heads to work and I can clean them in our parts washer. So that's whatever. But what I can't do is I can't fix a block. So let's detime this, and we'll see what we can do when it comes to saving these heads. So I normally have a little like book thing that tells me the detiming sequence and all that. I think I remember it. So with this, you want the crank keyway to be 6 o'clock, and you want these two cam gears to be facing towards each other. So it'll be this arrow here. Don't know if you can really see that, but this arrow here and this arrow here will be both pointing towards each other. This one pointing down, this one pointing up. And then you can take them off. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn this, if I even can. Oh God. Holy shit. Oh, yeah, guys, this thing is totally messed up. Oh. Oh, God. It should not be this hard to turn, even with spark plugs in. Oh, God. Okay. So, keyway is at 6. And then these two are facing each other. Here's this one pointing down, this one's pointing up. So now we can take this tensioner off, which then we can take this guide off. Then we can take this guide off. Although, shit, I just remembered I forgot one of the tools to take this off. I might be able to keep it on. We'll see. But we're taking these heads off one way or another today. So we're going to see what we can do. It looks like I could probably reuse those. I might get new ones though. These guys kind of suck to put back in because you have to push down, but then you also have to push this up. See how this is moving right here? You have to push it up and then you can move it down because they're oil pressured. So they're not terrible, but when there's not much oil in this from what it feels like. When there is a lot of oil, it kind of sucks to do. Let me put this over here. And then we can take this guy off, which will loosen the chain. And then what I'm hoping, like I said, yes, I can, okay. So now we got one chain off. Now normally you take this off too, but like I said, it's Allen key and I don't have one with me right now. I totally forgot about it. So I'm just gonna put this in the timing cover. Same with this tensioner. I'll probably be able to clean this timing cover off or clean it out and there'll be no metal debris, which will be good. So we'll do that. Now we have this side. This side, again, like I said, I normally have a little book or something like that that tells me what the detiming sequence is. If I remember correctly, we did that's this side how we're supposed to. This side, we need this keyway to be at about, I want to say like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. So let me try to show you. Oh. Okay. That should be it. So it's gonna be hard to see, but you can kind of see the keyway right here. So that will be pointed up to about 9-ish o'clock or so. And then this guy will be pointing downwards towards kind of like this little ball here, while this one will be pointing upwards this way. So now that it's like that, I should be able to do the same thing where I take this tensioner off. Again, this one's oil driven. This one feels like it has a little bit more oil in it though. Nope, it doesn't. So we'll put that timing chain or timing cover, because then we'll take this guy off, that, and then we can take the chain off. Perfect. So we have now detimed it. Ah, shit, no. I can't take the heads off because I forgot these guides are not only on the block, but they're connected to the head. Forgot about that. We'll figure it out. We're gonna get them off. But that's how you detime it. It's not hard at all. And timing it's basically the same, just in reverse. But now what I'm gonna do is I gotta find something to take these off. So I'm gonna go see if I can find something, and then we'll be back. I found one. I'm hoping I can get it off. These are a little, oh yes, okay. We're back in business, people. All right, I don't even know what size that was, so I can tell you guys. It is a 4mm, is what it looks like. Now we can take that off, which means we can take this guy off. There we go. Perfect. We're back in business, guys. Okay, cool. Got that off. So now that it's fully detimed and we don't have to worry about those guides, what we can do now is we can rotate the engine so it's straight up and down, and take one side off. Now I'll show you when we get there, but you gotta keep certain things on. Let me move this quick and we'll go from there. Okay, so we got the heads off, or the bolts out. They're all loose. Something I did notice while I was doing all this, I'll show you guys. You see all that? Yeah, that's all metal. So, and then like down in here you can see a little bit of glitter. So something definitely is not right. And if I had to guess, it's probably something with the crank and the bearings. So I'm hoping we can reuse these heads. I should have room for these heads. Now I'm gonna take this head off, and you guys are gonna see before me. So let me zoom in for you guys, and we'll see if what you guys see before me. So again, I'm gonna take this off. And I'm not gonna look, you guys are gonna look before me. I set this down, I'm still not looking. I grab the cam carrier and I'm gonna put it on top. And now we'll look. Oh boy. So, you guys saw, I don't know, maybe a lot of this is from the head being taken off. But That does not look very good, does it? It doesn't look bad, like none of the pistons broke or anything, but it's very, very dirty. And again, that could be from me taking the head off. You guys would know more than I would right now because I haven't seen it. But, oh man, it's just super dirty. So maybe the block, it's, oh no, because if this did crack, then maybe not. So I don't know. What we're going to do though is we're going to flip it and do the other side, and we'll see what that side looks like. And then we'll do the oil pan, because I'm pretty sure the oil pan is where we're really going to start seeing some stuff that we probably don't want to see. So I'm going to, I've lost my paddle guy thing here. Yeah, we'll empty that out as best as we can. Oh, I don't like that at all. Guess we'll have to put it here. So let's redo this. Then we'll take this guy. You just find a spot where you can kind of pry up on it. This side is going to be right here. Then we can hopefully rip this off gently as we can at least. I'm just being held on by a 10 mil right now. I did forget that. So hold on to that, and then I can take it off. There we go. Okay. Now let me put that bolt back where it is. Just gonna be here. And now we'll loosen these heads again. Okay, here goes nothing. Again, I am not looking currently. Trying to get this head up here. Again, they look dirty, but nothing looks bad. There's nothing that I would be like worried about, to be honest. Just as how dirty they are. But honestly, we didn't even think this was the biggest problem. What we think the biggest problem is, and I'm going to flip this, we think the biggest problem is going to be right here. When we take this bad boy off right here, I think this is going to be our biggest problem. So these are 10 mils, and I will take them off, and then we'll pry that up and see the problems we have and what we're gonna have to get to make this thing run again. Oh, slowly, but it's going. Ooh, there we go. No, yank her off. Oh yeah. Look at inside of that. That is a whole lot of metal. So what happened exactly? To I have a light? I do. But of course it's dead. I'm trying to see if I see anything obvious. Currently I don't. I just see some metal shit. Because that one metal debris that I found, and I showed you guys, this guy right here. This guy right here kind of looks like bearing material to me. Definitely could be wrong, but that's what I'm getting out of it. Oh yeah. Yep, it spun a bearing. Now that I'm actually looking, oh yeah. Okay. So we spun a bearing, which could be okay if we just split these cases in half and we get a crank. But it'd be easier if we just get a whole short block, because then I think we can reuse those heads. And another good thing that I can show you guys quick, actually, you won't be able to hear it. I'm going to put this back on my hat. But let me try to flip this. That will have to be what we do for now. But when you look at this piston, I'm going to try and see if I can show you guys what I mean. So it's down like that. So we have this connecting rod. You see how we can move it up and down? Yeah, we're not supposed to be able to do that. Now, yes, the piston will move up and down the cylinder when the crank is rotating. But when it's stationary like this, not spinning, it should not be able to move up and down by me moving this connecting rod. So it spun a bearing, which I figured when I got the car, that's what happened, because he said that it ran out of oil and then it just died on him, which tells me that it probably started binding up and then finally kind of seized together, which is why it's hard to turn. So since that's the case, we have two options. Depending on if that's an actual crack in the block, if it is a crack in the block, I can't reuse it. I have to get a whole new short block. If I can, I could split the block, get a new crank, get new bearings, and put it back together and go from there. I think our best solution is probably going to just get a whole short block. Not a brand new one. Maybe there's one that's burning oil that I can just replace piston rings in, call it a day. But either way, something's up with that crank because the bearing spun and is gone now. So what I want to do really quick before, we're done with this video is I want to check the actual heads. So let me get it set up. Okay, here are the heads. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip them and we're going to see what it looks like. There's still a head gasket on here, so let me rip that off. Okay, so just looking at it, none of the valves are broken on this head, and I don't see any cracks. So I'm pretty sure we can, for sure, reuse this head. I would just take it to work, I'd clean it through our parts washer, and then we can reuse it. Let me put this over here. Now with this head, let's flip it over and see what it looks like, because I have not checked these at all. So it's possible that something went wrong with it. And no, this side as well looks good. Those are the valves. There's no cracks in them, no chips in them, nothing like that. I don't see any cracks. So as of now, I'm going to say we can reuse these heads, which is awesome because I really rather not get new heads. That's just a way bigger expense than what I would like to do. So since we know the block is basically unusable at this time, unless I get a crank, we're gonna have to get a new short block. But it does look like the heads can be reused, which is awesome because those are expensive as well. And then I believe we should also be able to reuse that timing cover. I'll clean it out, make sure there's no metal debris in the oil pump and none of that shit. So that's we tore it apart. Not the best news, definitely not the worst news though. Could be that we need a whole long block, which would be awful. Short blocks aren't that hard to get. They're pretty easy to get. I know a guy, Matt, my guy Matt at work. He can probably get me one for a pretty decent price. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. We just tore apart this 2011 Forester engine, found out what was wrong with it, and now all we have to do is start getting the parts to put it back together, and hopefully we can get this thing to run again, which would be so nice, because Morgan needs a car, because right now she's using my white WRX, and I'm driving the blue WRX, which is fine. Love the blue WRX, but I love my EJ. I just do. So thank you guys for watching, appreciate it. Thank you guys for the support. The channel's actually been growing quite a bit, been getting quite a bit of views on the last couple videos, up to almost 1,500 subscribers, so I very much appreciate that, you guys. But yeah, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you guys next time.